Hello, sellers. It is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in. I have got such great tips for you, and I specifically chose this tip, and it's all about sourcing and selling a very hot category on eBay. And I selected it because the challenge sometimes with categories, you'll hear people share, this hot tip and that hot tip, is that it's a great tip, but it only works for people. I'm just going to pick things. It only works for people in Maine, or it only works for people in Texas, or it only works for people that have access to a Goodwill, or it only works for people that are in cities or in a more rural area. And what's wonderful is that this tip is really something you can source pretty much anywhere, not only in the United States, but around the world. And it's something you can source whether you're in an urban or city setting, or whether you're more out in the country, urban and rural areas. Hey, Joan, how are you? And that's why I pick it, because it can be frustrating. You hear a great tip and you're like, oh, this is so great. But it's like only people in Chicago can get it or New York. And it's like, so I really try to focus on tips that will work for you, regardless of where you are in the United States and around the world. And tips that work for our newer sellers. And if you are new to eBay, welcome, as well as tips that are good for more experienced sellers. And my seller friends that were selling on eBay a ways back and are returning and going, oh my goodness, so much has changed. What do I do? So I'm here to help you. So this is what I wanted to point out is, we're going into, if you don't know this, it's always good to sort of think like a season ahead. So it's August of 2022. We're at like part way through back to school. So all the back to school shopping is going on now. Yay, back to school shoppers. And we're going into fall. So yes, it's still summer and people are buying summer things, but they're shopping back to school. They're shopping for their kids, high school kids, junior high, the little guys, the little pre-K guys, college. Teachers are shopping, and also thinking fall, like, okay, what do I want to be wearing for the fall? So sort of both seasons are going on. And people shop, again, some people will buy things like, this is what I like. I don't care what the fashion trends are. This is what I like. This is what I buy. And it's true regardless of the age of the shoppers. So you can't just label and say, oh, people over a certain age, this is what they do. People under a certain age, this is what they do. Everybody has their own shopping styles. But it's also true for us as sellers, is that we might have certain things that we just love to, and we have certain things we love to source. But let's say because of our own personal taste, like I'm wearing a solid color yellow t-shirt today. So because I really like solid colors, or let's say I really like vibrant solid colors, that when I go sourcing into whether it's a thrift store or a retail store, or whether I'm sourcing online, I might gravitate towards certain things. Okay. So if you're somebody where you really like plaids, you find that you gravitate to plaids. You're somebody you really love home decor. You're really not so much of a clothing person. You're going for the home decor, and you like polka dots. Okay. So we all have things that we just, that it's just our favorite. And it may be a personal favorite. Okay. So it's not based on what has sold for me. That's different. But it might be a part of, this is what I like. This is what I like to wear. And this is what I like in my home. And it's great, but just know a huge array of things sell. So as challenging as it can be, like if you are a solid color person, is like, yes, but go and look at the patterns. And if you are a pattern person, also go and look at the solid colors. In fact, here in New York, I've been seeing a lot of solid pink and a lot of solid orange. So it just reminds me to, keep an eye out for the really nice, vibrant colors, because people are wearing them. But this is what got me going. So it's been really, really, really hot. About a week ago here in New York, we had like 10 days of weather in the 90s. It was hot. And August is prime tourist month. So you got a lot of people outside, a lot of people traveling around, and also a lot of people in from not only all around the United States, but all around the world. And I love to get out with my water bottle and a nice hat on and sunblock, and really look at people and look at what they're wearing, because it helps me to spot trends. I also take a look at their bags and their fanny packs and their luggage, because you get a lot of good ideas. And so I'm looking, how is everybody dressing and looking at the different ages, the younger kids that are like 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the teens, and then how are more the college age people dressing, and then older, going on older up to that. So you had a lot of shorts, a lot of sleeveless tops, a lot of tube tops. But this is what's so interesting. And this was true for my tourists as well as my folks that are clearly more commuters and they're traveling into work in New York City. A lot of cute summer dresses. And this is what got it going for me, because I'm very much a t-shirt and leggings girl. I work from home, nice t-shirt, nice pair of leggings. I run out, I go to the gym, I do my meal. So, I mean, a lot of summer dresses. I was really surprised by how many ladies are in summer dresses, and all ages. Okay. So we're talking like 9, 10, 11-year-olds. We're talking the teens, the 20s, all ages, and working ladies, which I found really interesting. Some really pretty summer dresses. Some are belted, some are shorter, some are longer. So a lot of knee length, a lot of midi, a lot of full length. And this was tourists as well as locals. So this got me going, hey, Debbie, I love what people watching. Yes, isn't it fun? This is what got me going. I'm like, floral. And it wasn't just sort of like Laura Ashley. And if you're unfamiliar with her prints, definitely Google and take a look at it. And it wasn't just sort of that Gunny Sacks prairie look, which is really in right now. You've got the cottage core look. If you're not familiar with that, take a look at that on the internet. And also a new one called grandma core, which is related. So it wasn't just sort of the prairie sort of what they call milkmaid top look. It was, all different kinds of tops, all different kinds of styles. Small prints, though. I didn't see big prints, like more of like I'm thinking like a sort of a psychedelic vibe, but they were small prints, which is why I was thinking of Laura Ashley. So I'm like, So clearly this was a summer trend. I saw a lot of cute little summer dresses. So I said, let me look for the fall to see whether floral will carry through for the fall. And when you're looking at a fashion trend, the reason you care about this is to know, what should I be sourcing? Also, what should I be listing? Because if something is very on trend, like floral, cottage core, and then all of a sudden it falls off, it's like you can't give it away. So it's like if cold shoulder, which is a style of shoulder tops are really in, and then also they're not, you don't want to be out sourcing or listing a bunch of, or you want to like sell it quick. Like if you get a low offer, just take it and get rid of it. So I was like, let me just see if floral is going to stay strong for the fall or not. Again, people wear what they want to wear, but if it's really off trend, it's a little harder to sell. Sure enough, floral is very strong for the fall. Now, all of us being smart sellers, and we do sell year round, and we do ship around the globe. But again, going into fall, I may not be looking so much more for the pastel-y shades, but I'm looking more for what I call autumnal colors. And that's why I'm wearing the yellow. I love yellow. Yellow, orange, darker green, sort of darker colors, more of an autumn feel, like autumn leaves, autumn colors. You're looking for prints like that. The great thing with floral, and thank you, it's on trend, is you really can source it everywhere. You can source floral, and I'm talking tops and dresses, but particularly the dresses are really on trend right now, is you can source it at thrift stores. You can source it at yard sales. You can source it at church sales. You can source it at retail. And it may be marked down dramatically. Like I have a really great Macy's Herald Square, which is probably the biggest Macy's, as far as I know. If it's not the biggest Macy's, it's one of the biggest Macy's. It's Macy's flagship store here in New York City. If you've never been, it really is a fun store to hit. But they have tremendous clearance events at Macy's Herald Square. So it can be a great place, to pick up stuff super marked down. And sometimes the reason it's marked down, in case you also have great, really wonderful stores near you, is that it's mistagged. So it's a great brand. It's a great style, but you hold it up and the large is not a large. It's clearly like a small or a very small. You know what I mean? So be sure to take tape measures. But that's why it's marked down. It's gorgeous. It's just mistagged. So don't forget clearance racks and retail stores. So clearly floral staying on trend. Definitely take a look at it. And the great thing with floral, whether you're going into thrift stores or consignment stores, or retail stores or shopping online or church sales or just cleaning out your closet is it's super easy to spot. Okay. One thing that I love is, when you're trying to get in and out of a thrift store quickly, maybe you only have 2 hours instead of like 3 or 4 hours, is something like floral. And if you're not a floral person, you're like, I'm not really a floral person. The great thing is it's easy to spot, easy to go to, and go and take a look at it. And this is where you're going to need to do your research. So you're going to take your phone with you. And when you spot it, just because it's floral doesn't mean it sells, but it has a good sell-through rate. I want to show you this. Definitely take a look at the seams, take a look at the condition, more of the prairie look, sort of, that Laura Ingalls Wilder prairie little house on a prairie. Gunny Sacks look is definitely in. So anything sort of prairie, definitely take a long, hard look at it. But it's so easy to spot. That's what I love with floral is I can just go right down the rack and you see it. Okay. Whether it's a shirt, whether it's a skirt, whether it's a mini, whether it's a midi, whether it's a maxi, but floral sells. And if you're not a clothing seller, definitely take a look at it for home decor. Okay. So take a look at it for all your wonderful knick-knacky things and vases and plates and all of that kind of thing. Okay. But look for kids. Okay. Look for kids. But that's what I want to encourage you is if you are a floral person, yay, then you've been snapping up all the floral. But whatever your personal style and taste is, and it can be hard, is you got to always go, okay, this is not my personal taste. Maybe, this pink and orange, like this is just not me, but your buyers like it. That whole thing of think like a buyer. I'm here to serve my buyers. So this isn't exactly my taste. It's maybe much brighter than something I would go for, or maybe much more muted than I would go for. Maybe I'm not a maxi person. Maybe I'm not a mini person, but don't let your personal taste sort of skew your shopping because floral is hot, hot, hot. And let me just show you. This was a fun one to do. And in case you don't know how to do this on eBay, let me show you how to do this. And Terra Peak, of course, could be a big, big help. But all I did was a regular search on eBay. Okay. So what I did was I hopped onto eBay and I searched floral dress. Now, if you search floral dress, and I've got 2 filters on this, it is mammoth. Then do it. It's really fun to look at. It's huge. And you might do that and get completely overwhelmed. But remember, I'm looking at floral for fall. That's what I'm interested in. Not that spring and summer aren't great, and you can do a search for that if you want. But I'm looking at what is going to sell like the next season in. Like I'm thinking about what's going to start moving for like September, October, November. And yes, we ship globally. And yes, it's always some summer somewhere. But I'm sort of thinking like, what are people going to be shopping for the fall? Because they're shopping right now for back to school. If you search floral dress, okay, and then use the filters on eBay. And those are the little tabs to the left. On your phone, you have filters too, okay? Is you can narrow your search, okay? And this can help you with research. But I just wanted to be very broad. I just sort of wanted to see like, okay, like, are there a lot of flower dresses on eBay? And then I'm going to look at the sell-through rate. So we looked at floral dress. And then all I did was click 3/4 sleeve and full-length sleeve. Yes, you can wear a sleeveless dress in the winter, but I said, let me just, for a matter of sort of filtering, let me just do 3/4 sleeve and full-length sleeve. I didn't sort by size. I didn't sort by length. So again, if you're at the thrift store or you're at the retail store and there's a great rack of floral maxi skirts, then you're going to go through and filter this for skirts and maxis. Okay. But I just did a very general search to give you sort of a flavor of what's going on. Okay. So when I do that, you get over 190,000 listings. So it's like, there's a lot of floral dresses listed on eBay, which you go, good. It's popular. Other people have discovered floral dresses. But do they sell? This is always the question. It's great if you see a lot are up. You're like, yay, I'm going to have some competition, which is good. Then it just challenges me to take good pictures and write a good listing. But do they sell? That's always the big question. Will it sell? And the answer is yes. And watch this, because I was actually really surprised. So when you do this, Then what you're going to want to do, and I may have to click through to another screen, so let me just see what happens. You're going to click advanced, and you can do this on your phone too, by the way. You can also have fun with Terrill, by the way. And when you do it with Terrill, let me just see if it's going to, and then you're going to click, let's click completed. Whoops, floral dress. Oh, what's it doing? It won't let me click completed. Okay, we're just going to click solds. For some reason, my eBay's acting up. So anyway, if you clicked completed, it would be fun because you would see what sold and what didn't sell, because that can be interesting. Like if you really think something's a wonderful dress and you're noticing a lot that are completed, but they didn't sell, you may pause, okay? Unless yours is very unusual. Like let's say it is the Prairie. So it's that brand, whatever the brand is, Kathy's brand. But the one you have is a Prairie, which is a more popular style, okay, than just like a regular maxi or knee length. But this will give you an idea then of what are they selling for. And it's doing it by price and shipping lowest first, which could depress you. So we don't want to do that. And I'm just going to do by end date recent first is always one of my favorite ones to do. Because what it tells you is it selling now? Right? Is it selling now? And the interesting thing is, look at this. Over 52,000 have sold recently. And that's out of over 190,000. So if you do your math, 52,000, what percentage is 52,000 of 190? Now it was over 190, but so I did 52,000 of 190. It's 27%. So let's say it's way over 190. Then let's say it's still like maybe 20%. That's good. Okay. So yes, there's a lot listed. Yes, there's a lot of competition. Obviously, some brands and styles are going to be more popular than others, and some colors. So that's why when you make a beeline for the floral, because Kathy said to check out floral, but then check your brands, look at the colors, look at the condition, look at the length, because that's going to matter, whether it's a mini, knee length, midi, or maxi. Okay. And then look at the fabric. That's going to matter too. Check your solds. Okay. But it's an easy one to spot, easy one to go to. Especially when the prices are really, really low. Like I always love the church sales where it's like $1 or $2 for a bag of clothing. So I may not have the time. There was a really popular thrift store. This is a couple years back where they did, I think it was $5 a bag. This is New York. And, you're talking hundreds of people in this room with piles of clothes. So if you see something good, you got to grab it fast. But at that price, and you could squash it down in the bag, right? At that price, you just grab stuff. You know what I mean? And I can research it later because I'm getting it for so little. I don't have to worry too much. But that's what I wanted to share with you is if you're not a floral person, or it hadn't occurred to you, or you're sort of focusing on specific brands or maybe specific styles, is that floral is huge. Again, it's tied to the current trend, which is called cottagecore, also grandma core, and you can search that. That's popular. But it's very, very popular. All lengths, all styles, a lot of different brands. Again, do your research because it's going to depend how much you're paying for it. Do think about fall, like the colors that are going to be more appealing to the fall. Don't neglect floral for home decor. It has a very good, it's called sell-through rate. So you have your listings, always good to see listing, but then does it sell? And you take the number of listings and you're going to divide it by the solds, and then you're getting the percentage of the sell-through rate. Is it 2%? Is it 5%? Is it 10? Is it 15 or 20? So just because the number is really, really high, and it is for floral dress, the sell-through rate is very, very good. A lot of them sell. So just keep that in mind when you're researching brands and colors. And of course, you're putting up a wonderful listing, is that it's very, very popular. Again, when I was out, saw so many floral dresses. And again, which I would think of for spring, summer, I go, yes, yes, yes. But it looks to stay very, very strong on trend for the fall. So consider that. And again, because people are on the internet right now shopping for their children of all ages and for themselves if they're teachers, is they will start, and if they aren't already, they are already picking up clothes for themselves and for their families for the fall. And floral is a strong, strong trend. If you're not sure of the variety of things that sell for back to school, and there's a huge variety, it's not just backpacks and notebooks. is hop over to my website. I love to be selling.com. And right there on my website, I've got a free guide for you. And it is the ultimate guide to back to school products. And this is pages and pages and pages of products just to get all those creative juices flowing that sell for back to school and use it. If you don't know, I was in brick and mortar retail for over 25 years, and I was a product presenter on QVC for 6 years. So the seasons of retail, what's on trend for retail, is one of my favorite things to share on, because it's something that I worked on for a long, long, long time and still have wonderful contacts in the retail industry. So grab this guide. It's absolutely free. And you might have some wonderful unlisted inventory that is perfect for back to school, and you just didn't think of it as a back to school thing. And this guide will sort of gently kick you and go, list this, and then you get to see those wonderful sales come in. So enjoy Source Floral, grab my back to school products guide, and have a great week. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.